Yeah, I'm going to punch you in the face.
You're gonna punch me?
Yes.
And you're gonna get in trouble for that.
Okay.
Hey, whoa, fuck ice, fuck ice, fuck ice, fuck ice, fuck ice, fuck ice, say it twice.
Hello everyone. Today will be a little more political than what I normally talk about, and it's about ICE. A lot of you all probably already know what happened, like how ICE committed 2 different murders, especially with what happened with Alex Petty, if I remember that's what his name was. And even people like me who don't like talking about politics are even going out to say fuck ICE. And that's how you know you really fucked up. And this is further proof that America today is slowly starting to become the next Nazi Germany. But today we'll be looking at an ICE supporter who was saying something like, oh, Charlie, MoistCr1TikaL, Penguin Zero is lying about the ICE situation in Minnesota, which I watched the first few minutes of this video and I thought, okay, this is so bad. It's good enough to make a video about it. So this is a video by Matty O, and looking at his YouTube channel, he's one of those anti-woke grifters. And what does woke mean? Don't bother asking, because even some of the biggest anti-woke grifters don't even know. Like, they overuse the word so much to the point when you ask them what does woke mean, they'll go, oh, woke means I don't know. Yeah, because the word woke is so overused, it's lost all of its meaning. So let's check out this video and see if Charlie really is lying or if he's just grifting.
So I thought we were done talking about this, I really did. But today, we have to respond to Charlie, or MoistCr1TikaL's, response to the ICE shooting in Minnesota, because he is way off base, and honestly I don't even know where to start. I guess firstly we should mention who he is. Charlie is a huge YouTuber, he's a Twitch streamer. On YouTube he goes by Penguin Zero, he has 17.7 million subscribers, he has a very good reputation for his commentary, and on Twitch he's got 5.8 million followers, as you can see here on his account MoistCr1TikaL. The guy's one of the most influential content creators. His opinions are respected because he has a good reputation for trying to be fair and coming at things from a normal point of view. Unfortunately, in this case, when it came to the ICE shooting in Minnesota, CR1TikaL has such a bad understanding of what happened that I genuinely think the best explanation is probably that somebody around him, probably a girlfriend, maybe one of his friends, is like a turbo liberal and is poisoning his mind. But let's take a listen.
Okay, that is such a big jump, a big stretch. Like, where did you even come up with that? You can clearly tell this was an unprecedented shooting just by watching the video, which you're about to see. And I'm pretty sure this was before the Alex Petty situation, so apparently we're going to be looking at the Renee Good situation here only. So I would love to do Alex Petty one day.
Listen to what he said and we'll respond to the points in kind. Right after you hit that like button, seriously, as a small channel, it really helps me out.
Speak on Renee Good? You mean like in a video or in general? Because that shit is horrible. I still can't believe that anyone thinks that that was defensible action from ICE. But as for a video, I'm not sure yet. I was gonna do like a bigger one, but I just haven't yet. And of course, Charlie is.
Sorry if the video performance is a little slow, because I have ad blocker and YouTube's really trying to block it.
A lib. It is incredible how someone can watch a video and depending on like their political brain, they'll see 2 different things. An ICE agent putting himself in front of a vehicle, and then when the vehicle starts moving, putting himself in front of the vehicle, like the least smart thing ever. That is like the anti-protocol. And when the vehicle moves and turns to the right, just immediately starts blasting, then it's like, yep, justified. I don't know how anyone watches that and think that that's fine.
Now, obviously you can tell here he's uninformed. He doesn't know what he's talking about at all. He obviously has not seen the full videos. And
probably neither do you, because I've seen that video. I've seen both angles. Like, I've seen this news report right here by News Nation, because they're one of the only news stations I know of that's not biased, like C-SPAN, and they show both footage side by side. Okay, so clearly right here, when you look at both angles, this ICE agent put himself right in front of the car and then started blasting him. No, blasting her, I'm sorry. So clearly, she didn't even do anything. Like, he put himself right in front of this moving car and used that as a justification to shoot her. Like, this one right here, ICE agent's phone footage, and this one right here, witness footage. He put himself right in front of the car. And he tried to frame it that, see, the ICE agent trying to frame it that she hit him with the car, but she didn't. And then started blasting her, like shooting at her, and killed her. And this was a mother this ICE agent killed. He shot her, he murdered her. Completely unjustified. And how does this guy try to defend that?
And genuinely, I think he's missing a lot of context, because obviously he starts off by the assertion that the cop had no right to shoot her, essentially is what he's saying, and then he blames the cop for standing in front of her car. Now, first off, that's not how any of this works. When it comes to police-involved shootings, there's a few things that have to be in place in order for that to be a justified shooting. In this case, right, you had the police officer who was in front of the car, as we can see from this video, right, when she hits him with the car, which she does hit him with the car.
No, he didn't. She didn't. That's what he's trying to frame this as.
Charlie neglects to mention that. She's looking directly at him. The guy's in front of the car. Charlie says that
she was clearly turning the opposite way.
That it's his fault for standing.
Did not hit him at all.
In front of the car. Now, let me tell you something. The problem with that argument, right, and this is an argument that all of these woke people are using all across the internet, saying, oh, the cop shouldn't have been standing in front of the car. But think about that for 2 seconds. Just because somebody stands in front of your car does not give you the right to try to run them down with your car. It doesn't. I'm sorry. So with just 2
even though she didn't.
Seconds of thought, you can tell that the argument that the ICE officer shouldn't be standing in front of the car is a bad argument. The ICE officer is allowed to stand where he wants to stand, and you don't have a right to hit them. If somebody stands in front of your car, that's not a right you have. Now, he also says that the lady was trying to peel off to the right and get away from him when she started moving the car. That's false, right? That's something that all of these people are saying, but none of them have actually watched the video. So if you see here, this is a clip from the left.
Well, we clearly just watched the video, and we have enough proof to show that she did not hit him with the car, and this was a completely unjustified shooting.
Side. You have this ICE officer on the side here, and then behind him, you'll be able to see it as we skim through this. You will see right around here the head of the ICE officer who actually ends up getting hit by the car and then shooting. As you can see, the tail lights are on because she's in reverse. She then shifts the car into drive. The tail lights go off, and you'll see in a second here the wheels start to move. You see that right there? The wheels are moving. Just pay attention down here to this part of the rim. You will see the wheels are moving, right? And where's the ICE officer? You can see his head right there, right in front of the car. And in this part where the wheels are starting to move, the wheels are actually angled towards the left, towards the ICE officer. This is something that nobody seems to have noticed because they all just blindly take the idea that she was trying to escape. Also, you don't have the right to try to escape from a police stop either. That's a whole different thing. So she is in fact trying to hit him. The wheels are lined up as if to hit him in this angle. And then so if we continue, you'll actually see the wheels continue to spin. So let's start back here when the wheels first start to go when she puts into drive. So from here on in, the wheels will spin. Ready? Here we go. Yep.
Yeah, let's skip a little bit because he's cherry picking some excuses just to find a way to justify this killing.
A car, unless it's going to imminently hit you. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go any further and show the part where the shots are or where he's fully hit, but you can tell he's about to be hit by the car from this frame. And then, of course, if we go here, you can see from CBS News, so this is a major mainstream news corporation, they say that the ICE agent who fatally shot Renee Good on January 7th in Minneapolis suffered internal bleeding to the torso following the incident. So he was hit by a car and suffered internal bleeding, but you don't think that he had a right to shoot? You don't think that he had a right to be fearful for his life? And not just for his life, right? You have to realize that the police don't just have the right to shoot you if you're a danger to them. They also have the right to take lethal action against you if you're a danger.
Of course, you're taking words from a news station that's pretty biased. Of course you are.
To the public or to their colleagues, and in some cases to yourself. So I think you'd have to be stupid to argue that even though you hit this officer, the officer doesn't have a right to shoot. You cannot be living in the same world as us if you don't think that if you hit a police officer with your car, he's going to use his weapon on you. Because you pose an
No, that should only lead to an arrest, not an unjustified shooting.
imminent threat, not just to him, but to everybody around. The big crowds that were forming, because, I mean, this thing was filmed from like 30 different angles. So there were people all around. There were cops all around here. She could have gone after anybody. She clearly was not in her right mind and did not have regard for the law. You know, you don't hit a police officer if you have regard for the law. So she's putting the entire public at danger. She could have driven off onto the sidewalk and hit somebody. He doesn't know. All he knows is that she presented a clear and present danger to not just him, to not just his fellow officers, but also the public. And that's why it's a justified shooting.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Who are respected and should know what they're talking about make comments like that. It really, really upsets me. His entire opinion on this is completely uninformed and just wrong. And I don't think
Like yours.
it's just a him problem, right? He shares this to all these people. He says this misinformation, or should I not use that word, and instead say he's spreading the lies in his video here, which has been seen by almost 1 million people on this account alone. That doesn't count the people who are watching this live stream. That doesn't count other clippers. That doesn't count anybody else. I mean, he's blatantly lying, and I don't think he means to be doing it, right? I just think that he doesn't understand what actually happened, and I think he also probably has a badly formed concept of how police use of force actually works. He needs to watch more body cam videos, I guess. But like I said, I think the real problem here is either he's getting his news from a biased source and he just
Like you. Because currently right now I'm only getting my sources from News Nation, a completely unbiased news station.
trusts it 100% and he didn't decide to do any research himself, or he has somebody around him who is a liberal who has convinced him of this. Now, this is something I've seen with people in my life. You know, you have these people, they're good friends with somebody or they're dating somebody, and that person tells them all this stuff and they don't really pay that much attention. They just absorb whatever the person's telling them and they believe it. And that
Just like the higher-ups saying some lies about how Alex Petty came up with a gun threatening the ICE agents or something like that, when the gun was only in his holster, and that was his Second Amendment right to have a gun as long as you have a license. He clearly had a license and a permit, and then these higher-ups are like, oh, Alex Petty is a domestic terrorist or something. Like, no, he wasn't. He did not show up to the ICE agents with the gun. It was holstered, and when they saw it and took it out of his holster, they shot him. Which I don't know if I'll be able to show that, because you can't show murder on YouTube.
thing is pretty common. I mean, if I could show you exactly why he is wrong in just a couple minutes using footage that is publicly available to anybody, I mean, he should be able to figure it out himself, especially before he goes on and makes a comment on his live stream about it. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Is Charlie wrong? Is he misinformed? Do you think
No, he wasn't. So anyways, yeah, that's it for this video. I know it's a little political, but something like this really matters for the future of this country, America. And I really hope something is done about this, because we all know the current president is not going to do anything about this. So that's it. And most importantly, fuck ICE.
Say it twice, say it twice, say it twice, say it twice. Fuck ICE, fuck ICE, fuck ICE.